So yeah, I didn't actually do anything that I said I was going to do during break. I'm back in my flat for college, and I only made that first video during break, and I didn't really do much reading either, so I completely failed at what I was going to do. So good job me. But the last 4 days I did read books, and I finished the series, or I thought I finished the series when I got here. The books that I had read were about Hannibal Lecter, the Cannibal. And I thought there was only 3 books, starting with Silence of the Lambs, and then I knew that was one of the books. Everybody knows that is the main Hannibal Lecter thing. I didn't originally think it was a book, I just thought it was a movie, but yes, it is indeed a book. So everybody knows that. But then I found out about Hannibal and then Hannibal Rising, and I thought those were the 3 books that were part of the series. Then I came to find out, after finishing the 3rd book, or what I thought was the 3rd book, I found out that there was a book before The Silence of the Lambs called Red Dragon, and I did not read that. So I'm going to read that another time, but I wanted to get this out so I can actually seem like I'm doing stuff and trying to work at doing reviews. These books. I have to say though, they weren't, the first one at least, or second one actually, Silence of the Lambs, it wasn't as disturbing as I thought it would be. Because I know when people hear Hannibal Lecter, they know he's the cannibal that would eat people, which is kind of redundant. Cannibals do eat people, but like, I don't know, it's kind of common knowledge in at least the US, I think, that Hannibal Lecter is the serial killer cannibal, I guess. The Silence of the Lambs was more about, if you have watched the movie or read the book, that it's more about his psychological aspect, like his analysis, and then also, I guess you would say, the sociopathic aspect of Hannibal Lecter, because they're using, the behavioral science unit of the FBI is using him to get insight, I guess, for another serial killer, Buffalo Bill. And yeah, just seeing how his mind works with that, it's just weird how he can get, like, some, like, just describe a whole person just from learning what kind of shoes they wear or something like that. Something simple like that, which you would think, how can you get that much from just one thing? And I always thought that kind of psychological analysis and stuff was really cool. And I wish I could do it, but I'm not that smart or observant, so it's never gonna happen. And it's also interesting to see how the main FBI agent that we're seeing the perspective from, Clarice Starling, we see it through her perspective mostly, and she's the one who's dealing with Hannibal Lecter and indirectly with the case of Buffalo Bill, which that in itself, that is, okay, maybe not the most disturbing aspect of the series, but it is definitely the most disturbing part in this book. But yeah, like, their interaction, or Clarice and Hannibal's interaction is just so mind-boggling and so interesting, I guess, because they're both using their minds, I guess, to one-up each other and try to get one step ahead. And it seems like Clarice is staying on track with Hannibal, but then no, she's not. And yeah, just that interaction is just so interesting. I don't know how else to put it. Just yeah, again, Hannibal knows or finds out stuff, like, through observation and stuff, that is just completely mind-boggling. How can he know? Like, one thing is that the head behavioral unit, or behavioral science unit of the FBI, Crawford, his wife is terminally ill. It never really says what she has or what she's dying from. But Hannibal knows that she is ill and that she is dying. And there was no interaction between Crawford or Hannibal within the book. All the dealings within it was dealt with Clarice. And she doesn't say anything really about Crawford except that she had been sent by him to talk to Hannibal. And that is the extent of his being mentioned. And then also Hannibal finds out that he says that Buffalo Bill must at least live in a 2-story house. And I don't remember exactly how he figured it out, but it was with information that you couldn't possibly, or regular people couldn't possibly deduce that he was in a 2-story house. It didn't come until later that you could really say, yeah, he probably did live in a 2-story house. That was just, whoa. Throughout the book, there was like a lack of emotion, and it was, as I said, it was mostly through Clarice Starling's perspective, and that always gets me, that always intrigues me, because for me, I always see that people who are very good psychologically or good at analyzing people psychologically, they usually have no emotion or no intensity of feelings. And that really just intrigues me because I'm like, why is that? Why can you be like very observant and very analytical, but you're kind of like you can see emotion or predict emotion from other people, but yet you do not express or even feel the same emotions. How is that possible? And that just is very interesting to me. I don't know, like I said, Hannibal Lecter is kind of like an American, or mostly an American culture thing, at least I know. It might be also big other places, but I think because Silence of the Lambs, which is, I think, the more well-known book, or at least even the movie, because I think there are the other movies, I just never seen them. Everyone talks about Silence of the Lambs when they talk about Hannibal Lecter. So, yeah, but it's like a big culture thing, and then everybody knows at least the name, and it's weird how stuff like serial killers, but people who are like cannibals or serial killers and that kind of stuff, it's weird how it's common knowledge, because like people know about Jeffrey Dahmer, Jack the Ripper, and then it doesn't even have to be real serial killers. Like Hannibal Lecter, he is fictional. That never happened in the US. But it's weird how everybody knows his name and knows that he is a cannibal. It's just weird how we remember that kind of stuff, but we don't remember, like, I don't know, all the presidents we've had. We remember these weird serial killers. And why? I don't know. I find it interesting how we find this kind of stuff interesting and memorable.